It's good to have you. We have a really interesting show in store for you today, and I think it's going to make a difference for a lot of people. I always believe it will, and it's also, I always believe that any knowledge that we can pick up, be it little bits or big chunks, will set us free, gives us the power to make our own decisions. And that's what this show is about, whether I remember to tell you or not. Keep that always in your mind, that anything you pick up on this show is meant to free you up from yourself, from something else, from a conversation, from discussion, whatever. Just put you at the top of the class. And today we have Michael Hronas with us and my very dear friend Debbie Bruck. And let me tell you a little bit about Michael first, and then I'm going to tell you about Debbie. So Michael was just a regular old person doing some regular old work in the manufacturing world. And then he became the owner and founding instructor, Shifu, of the Qigong Institute of Healing and Wellness, dedicated to the good health and well-being of its members. He does Chinese medicine, medical Qigong, and Qigong and Tai Chi. He has also traveled to China and was ordained into the 22nd generation of the Dragon Gate sect of Taoism. And so we're going to be talking a lot of things today about energy and just personal health and well-being. And now I want to welcome Debbie. Debbie Bruck is another dear friend. She has a show on prior to mine called Health In. She is a homeopath genius and has studied Qigong and just a really dear friend. So welcome to the show.
Welcome, Marilyn.
So how does it feel to be being interviewed as opposed to interviewing?
I'm having a fantastic time. I'm melting into the atmosphere here.
Literally.
Anything to do with the lights.
You asked, how is your week, Amnon? And I'm thinking, today is Monday. This is the very beginning. We have a lot of the week to go.
That's the trick.
Am I allowed to say happy birthday, Mom? She's 88 today.
Sure.
Yes,
88.
And she's looking like 65. She looks so great.
Cool.
Happy birthday.
Well, happy birthday. What's your mom's name?
Naomi.
Naomi. Well, if you're listening, Naomi, happy birthday from all of us to you. So remember, log into the chat, tell us you're there, call in anytime you like, and just, take part in this great conversation we're about to have. So I want to introduce Michael. Michael, hey.
How you doing, Marilyn?
Good, and you?
Oh, I'm doing great. It's good to see you. You look great in purple, and Debbie,
Thank you.
You look great as well.
Good, and you look great in what, black and gray and white?
That's all I got. That's my entire life is black, gray, and sometimes white.
Good.
Depends on
well,
how
welcome.
I do.
And it's nice
Thank you.
to have you here. So let's start off just simply telling us, what is Qigong?
Qigong is basically a practice of combining movement with energy. What makes Qigong movements different than Zumba is that we begin to incorporate how my hand moves in relation to how I breathe through the movement. And the other thing that we add to it is intention. So we have all three levels of being involved in the motion of the body and absolutely into the motion of the energy within the body. So I often call Qigong working in as opposed to working out, and I think that gives us a better idea of balance, because a lot of people will go work out, they'll be at the gym, they'll do the weights, they'll do the riding the bike, and they'll never ever spend time in meditation or prayer or sleep in such a way that it balances them out.
So you're saying then that, if I understand you correctly, and I am very excited to say that Michael's going to do a little demo for me in a couple of weeks. But so what you're saying is Qigong is not like a necessarily hands-on kind of healing thing. It's more in the movement and moving with the energy. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, there's really two Qigongs we're talking about, Marilyn. One that you're talking about now is structurally based, posture based. For example, I just graduated 3 certified students yesterday in the 24 posture therapeutic Qigong set, which is a set I learned back in the day when I first started, and began to apply medical Qigong principles to it, and it's become a nice set. But that's one aspect of Qigong. The other end is medical Qigong. And medical Qigong, within its realm of being and existence, has not only posture-based exercises like the 8 brocades and the Taoist 5 Yin and others, but it also has clinical applications where one-on-one doctor and patient, much like an acupuncture treatment but without needles, and much more powerful in its extent.
Okay, so first of all, I want to just back up a minute because I like to treat things really simple. So what is it? First of all, what do you mean by a set?
Set, for example, 24 postures is 24 different movements in the set. So I call the set the entire package of 24 movements, and I call each posture in it a posture.
So is that is there different sets for different parts of your body or for different reasons?
There are different postures for different parts of your body.
Okay.
So, for example, if I take my arms, I don't know if you can see me here, but if I open them and open my chest and close my chest, and the movement is more extreme, but because of where we're at, it's going to be difficult to show you. But as I open my chest, I begin to look at what's in my chest and what I need to release. So within my chest, I have right in the center, I have my heart, my pericardium, I have lung, I have lymph, and then for women, there are breast. So I look at releasing stuff. Like I loved what you said at the beginning of the show about this is a show about transformation and changing your life and making yourself renewed. And that's what we do here, because in medical Qigong, one of the main principles we understand is that every emotion and trauma that we experience is not held in the brain or held in the memory as much as the energy of it is held in an organ. So as it goes there, as we grow up, we begin to find that those traumas become disease, they become places where diabetes sets in, or MS, or whatever the disease might be. So what we try to do is release these by doing Qigong activities that affect that.
Okay, so hold on just a second, because there's some conversation in the chat about that this is similar to yoga. And Debbie, why is this similar to yoga?
Well, Tibetan Qigong comes from the cusp of the Chinese and the Indian coming together. And so it incorporates a lot of yoga asanas, postures, practices, yoga for flexibility and opening the meridians. And in the same way, Qigong does a very similar thing. You want the universal energy to flow through the body, opening the spine and breathing. But it incorporates with Qigong a visualization, the capacity of the human mind to use imagery and intention, as Michael is talking about, and to focus the energy into different organs and places in the body. So these postures are actually opening up, and I think you mentioned releasing energy or gathering energy into the different organs as you breathe, expand and contract, and do all of the things that you learn when you're doing Qigong. And also it's you can do Qigong as silent stillness and as movement, fluid movement. Maybe you can expand on that, Michael.
Well, there are if you look at Taoist alchemy, for example, I think there was a question on Facebook today from Chris, who said, "What are you going to talk about?" And I said, "What's interesting is that in our lives we tend to look forward. We tend to look at what we can do to change our lives as we move forward. And in Taoist internal alchemy, the answer is you don't really look forward as much as you look backwards. And what we try to get into is more a prenatal state or a primordial state as opposed to afterbirth state. So the way I explain this is that, when I'm 2 years old and I'm getting ready to go to preschool, or 3 years old or 4 years old, and I meet other students, I begin to put masks on. I begin to put different intentions in my actions. And as I go through high school and grade school, the masks just come on the face one after the other, until we grow up and we're 50 years old and go, who the hell am I? Mm-hmm. And that's when Qigong allows us to look inside and begin to release, begin to let go of the masks, begin to let go of the traumas, begin to let go of who we think we are, and really get back to the state of really who we are.
Right.
And that becomes very much a healing process.
Right.
As this relates to yoga, I'm not a yogaite or yoga person. I've never done yoga. There is a difference for me is the Chinese versus the Ayurvedic, looking at it. One of the ladies I just certified, Brenda, was a yoga expert, and she took the Qigong practice, and she's able to see both ends of it. So that's something I would leave to her to decide what to do.
I guess because there's movement or is there position? Did you say there was positions or there postures in Qigong? So
yes.
That's what makes it somewhat similar to yoga, would you say?
Much less strenuous.
Much less strenuous.
Yes, it's.
So you're not holding the postures for. It's not just for the posture's sake. I mean.
Oh, this. You got to understand, Marilyn. The Qigong is not about the external movement.
Right.
Then
okay.
I would call it working out.
Okay.
I call this working in. So the Qigong practice is if I'm opening my arms and opening the chest, I am releasing from the heart, the pericardium, the lung. I'm releasing trauma. I could be doing sounds as I do that because sounds
right.
purge. And then I can be breathing in a color because colors tone or strengthen the organs.
Right.
Because one of my absolute favorite comments is nobody ever died of a weak bicep. I've never seen anybody in a funeral home, and I was a Orthodox deacon for 17 years and did tons and tons of funerals, and nobody's ever been there except for internal organ issues that somewhere along the way failed or began to fail, and they just didn't know what to do to fix it. So that's where I get involved. If you want to strengthen your heart, if you want to strengthen your lungs, if you want to purge and strengthen your liver, what do we do?
So what do you do? What do you do? Give me pick. Now this may be ridiculous. Pick an organ. Pick the heart.
Pick an organ.
Okay. Pick an organ. Pick the heart because that's an issue for a lot of people, men, women. Pick a.
Let me tell you, Marilyn.
Okay.
The easiest one to talk about is the liver.
Okay, so let's pick the liver.
Yeah, because the liver is all about anger, irritability, impatience. But on its congenital side, what are you born with in the liver? I mean, does God leave us here with anger? He doesn't. He we're born through our life sequences with in the liver love. And you think love is in the heart. It isn't. Love is in the liver. Benevolence, kindness are all there. But if somebody cuts you off in the middle of the road, what do? Do you give them a sign, or do you say, well, maybe he's got to get to work on time or he's going to get fired? Those are the issues. And when I look at it from a medical Qigong standpoint, when I get somebody on the table and I feel the energy, then I know that's got to be purged. And we have techniques that have, they're just simple hand techniques, but in the realm of intuitive thought and behavior and belief systems, we begin to actually dig through the liver and pull away stagnations and traumas that I can feel. I can literally go in and go, that's something. I don't know what it is, but we can identify it and then pull it out and throw it away.
So I have a question for you, first of all.
Yes.
Because we can get it. This is getting deep, and before I go there, I want to first of all find out, were you intuitive before you started with Qigong?
Oh, absolutely not.
You absolutely not.
Absolutely not. I got into Qigong, Marilyn, because I got MS.
Okay, so why don't you share a little bit about that, and then we can go from there.
I was in Erie, Pennsylvania, and I had a very small manufacturing company called Multi Products. We were a $5 million company doing custom molding for people, and I was doing the whole 9 yards. I had 3 kids, a wife, family, the whole family thing was perfect. I was coaching swimming at the St. George Catholic School, and one day I got there and I realized side of my face is numb. Side of my face is numb. I'm yelling at students and I can't bring my lips together. So the next day I didn't think much of it, and I went through the day and it didn't go away. And a couple of days later I went to the doctor, and he says, well, I think you have Bell's palsy, give it a week. So I gave it a week, and with no relinquishing of the effects or the feelings. So I ended up flying to Germany and went off all my meds, came back, still had the same issue. That's when I got into the neurology and started doing MRIs, and I found out that I had plaque on my brain, my spine, all the way down. So I had this, and in honesty, when it comes to presentation of the MS disease, my reaction at first was on the mild side. At the same time, I was involved in martial arts. I had a school in the building, and we got invited to a training camp in Canada, which, if you're in Erie, Canada's pretty close. So we went up there for the weekend, and when I was there, I met Master George Picard, who was teaching 9 postures of the 24 posture set. And I was there. I was at his heels every time he taught, morning, evening, and afternoon, and learning about how energy was, how it reacted, what it did, how it behaved. And I understood some of what he said. Some of the other stuff was way over my head. I didn't know what was going on. But I made a decision that was a key and elemental decision to my change in life, and that was to train up there 2 hours a day, 4 hours a day, 2 times a week. So I drove 2 hours there, 2 hours back, and then went to work and did the whole 9 yards. And eventually, I kind of just forgot about the MS, except for my routine calls from my neurologist to go have an MRI, and it disappeared. It's never returned. And what I understand now, that Qigong is not only movements that we do because they're kind of cool, or it's at Raleigh Senior Center or Cary Senior. It's not that. It's an interactive process of your body that begins to change it. That begins to bring the systems of your body back to a normal state of being, and that's at all levels of existence, which is physical, energetic or emotional, and spiritual, which is Shen. So after that, I ended up losing the business, losing the wife and the kids. I lost everything pretty much. Opened up a martial arts school, the Qigong Institute, as well as Red Dragon Martial Arts, and ended up going to train with Dr. Shannon. And I didn't do that necessarily for the medical Qigong part as much as I did it for the Taoist part, because my Christian religion at the time was really, in honesty, not able to answer all my questions.
Okay, we'll get into that.
Okay,
I just want to narrow down some. So just getting back to the MS for a second. So Are you in remission, or is it gone?
In my opinion, it's gone.
In your opinion, it's gone.
I have had no effect of it. I have had nothing ever in terms of numbness or any kind of feeling in my body that is no feeling.
So I'm trying, this is very deep. So,
okay.
I'm sure it's deep for everybody, so I'm trying to simplify it.
Sure.
So Qigong works with the energy, the movement, the emotion, the spirituality. Is that right?
Everything.
Okay. So, Debbie, let me ask you just a question. Why did you get into Qigong originally?
I was taking a course with Dr. Robin Murphy, who is a naturopath, in traveling to Atlanta for my homeopathic studies, and he is a Qigong master. And so before and after each class, full day's worth of class, he would begin with Qigong. And so I was very, very interested in it. I was going through my own disease process of cancer, and I really was connected to the movements, the healing, the intention of using Qigong, and so I really put a lot of energy into learning it.
And how did it support your condition at the time?
It supported my condition through the belief system of that I was moving energy through my body, and that I could clear blocks, stagnation, I could eliminate pain, any kind of suffering, as Michael said, any kind of trauma in the cellular tissue, in the organs around it, just opening up to the belief that there are other things that you can do to transmit or transfer. What's the transmutation of energy? So something that is maybe starts off as negative could be turned into something positive, or something that you use and that could be toxic in you, if you let it go, it can be transmitted into something beautiful, something that somebody else might need as a positive energy. So that's how I used it. Does that gobbledygook?
No, it is a little gobbledygook, but it's going to be a little gobbledygook when you're speaking about energy and all this stuff. What were you going to say, Michael?
She's absolutely right. I mean, in terms of how we look at energy, the only time that we're healthy, Marilyn and the rest of you, the only time that we're healthy is when Qi flows freely.
Okay, talk about Qi first. What's Qi?
Qi is,
I thought you said
quick
Qi
definition.
flows freely.
What is it?
I'm sorry.
What's Qi?
Qi is energy.
So so why do you say Qi as opposed to just energy? I mean, is it a different kind of energy, or how can that be?
There are 21 to 25 different versions of Qi. So
Okay.
we get Qi from food. We get, for example, the black thing hanging on my wall is different than the light switch, and those are just different energies that vibrate differently in this realm of being. But everything that we are, everything that we're meant to be, and everything that we're going to be is based in this essence of Qi. So Qi is vital energy. Qi is the energy of life. Qi is the energy of the divine. Qi is the energy of everything.
So it's the kahuna of energies, would you say?
Oh yeah, I mean
It's the kahuna.
There are many words for it in other languages. Prana, breath.
So kahuna in my language works?
If
Absolutely.
you're Hawaiian, I don't know.
Yeah. All right, so the Qi moves through your body.
Marilyn, Gong just means hard work.
Say that one more time.
Gong, Qigong,
Yeah.
Gong just means hard work.
Oh, is that what it means?
Yeah, so Qi, working with Qi in your body is the hard work and application of Qigong principles. So if, like Debbie said, some Qigong is stationary, and we do that. They typically call that Neigong in Chinese, where you begin to look at stationary postures being the absolute best way to get Qi to move, the absolute best way to find out where the Qi is blocked in your life, and how that relates to things that might have happened when you were 3 or 4 or 5, and going back and clearing those things so that the body goes, oh, I don't have to hold on to that anymore. I can let that go. So one of the things I say in front of my Qigong classes now is, what is it that you're holding on to that you no longer need to? What trauma, what experience, what anger, what doubt, what fear, what disorder, what anger is manifesting itself in your life at any level, whether it be I want to eat something or I just have this little subtle feeling of, oh.
Okay, let me ask you something. So,
Sure.
so listening to what you're saying and the work that is involved in the Qi. So tell me if this is somewhere on target or not. So the idea is to work to get the Qi to move through your body, to move through an organ.
Right.
Is that simplifying it?
Yeah, you're going to work through an organ. You're going to work through the meridians. You're going to work through the channels. We did an extra exercise today that worked kidney energy. Where do I use kidney energy? I use it in thinking. I use it in running. I use it in driving around. And where I'm weak, I want to get strong, so I bring more energy in, and then I allow it to flow. Now, how does it flow? The best way, you need to relax. You just need to relax. That's why we have that little yin-yang symbol where you have the white and the black. And I oftentimes ask people, how many of you know of somebody that at the age of 50 died of a heart attack or got a very terrible disease and they had to be put in the hospital for 2 weeks?
Yeah, it sounds like Qigong offers so many stages.
Oh, it does.
To take. And Debbie had something she wanted to add too. What was that, Debbie?
Yeah, I wanted to help with the definition so that you understood a little bit more Qigong. Qi, as we spoke earlier, being the vital energy in homeopathy, we might call it the vital force or the spirit or the breath that flows through us. This begins all life. It is the essence. And without Qi, you're really dead. It's a lifeless form. The other part of Gong is a lot of people consider it a practice, something that's consistent, something that's ongoing. So my teacher said if you have a chart with a lot of 100 happy faces and you check off each day that you have done your practice in consistent form, then you can reach the 100 days of Qigong and you have mastered that form. Whereas if you miss it on the day 99, which is really a killer, then you have to start from the beginning again and get through that 100 days. It's just the idea that you are developing the Qi so that, like Michael probably feels the Qi. It's a vibration and energy essence. Do we want to create the ball of energy now?
What do you mean?
People out there could actually sit in their home and develop this ability to feel their Qi.
Right now?
Yeah, right now.
Okay, so Michael,
Yes.
you want to, what do you think
don't
about
have
that?
to do it.
Is there a demonstration or something that you can do with people that are out here now and that they can get a sampling? Could you do it remotely?
Yeah, I think if they want to grab and hold on to Qi, all I'm going to ask them to do is sit quietly.
Okay. I think this is, okay, before you go, this is a great idea. And I would like to think that everybody out there is going to take just these, whatever direction Mike suggests. Take it and let's see what it is. And then when we're done, let's see what we can experience and share together. Because remember, the more we all feel this Qi, the better the world is in general. So if our part of the world today can feel this, however many people we are out here, the world will be better for it. So go ahead, Michael.
What I'm going to do, I just changed my mind. I'm going to go through what we call in the medical Qigong world as well as Taoist world, the sun and moon meditation.
Mm-hmm.
And it's a cleansing meditation that brings Qi in, allows it to cleanse your body. And it's not going to be a long, drawn-out one. This can go on for an hour or so if you want it. But we're going to do a quick one so that everybody out there understands the stages and the beginning of it. So what I want everybody to do is close their eyes. And I want you to relax your body. I want you to feel your shoulders, your jaw, your chin, your ears, the back of your neck, the back, all the way down through the chest, lower abdomen, into the seat, into the legs, all the way down into the earth. Place your feet flat on the earth and put your hands on your knees. And what you're going to do is you're going to go to the top of your head where the bald spot is. And you're going to open this spot. Your crown chakra is going to open up. And it's going to be ready, because what we're going to do next is we're going to imagine the sun over our left eye, and we're going to imagine the moon over our right eye. And they get bigger, and they get bigger to the point where it's almost unbelievable how powerful they are. You're going to begin to feel the energy in that bald spot area, and the sun and the moon are going to begin to share energy, and it's going to mix together and come down through the top of the head. It's a bright, white, silvery energy that is healing in its nature. And it's going to come all the way down until it hits the big toe. It's just going to fall through the body. It's going to fall through, and it's going to fall through. And as it begins to fill up backwards, you're going to begin to notice this energy hits between and into every cellular region. Everywhere there's a place, there's an opening, there's an area for it to travel into. It's going to find its entry into there. And it's going to begin its work. It's going to begin looking for, examining, and identifying traumas that you have gone through in your life. And as it fills up, it fills up, fills up, it goes all the way to the top of your head. And now what happens, now that your body's full and you're going through this cleansing effect, cleansing reality, cleansing issue, you're going to feel the body give those up through the pores of your skin everywhere. I don't care if it's your big toe, your little pinky. I don't care if it's your knee or your thigh or your bicep or your chest. Everywhere there's a pore, trauma begins to be pushed out, and it's pushed out and it's black. It is horribly black feeling, and it's hard, and as it comes out of your body, it hardens and falls to the earth, and the earth gathers it and renews it, takes it away from you. It's no longer something that you need. It's no longer something that you want. It is no longer anything in this world that you could desire or appreciate. And this is just going to continue as the energy leaves through the pores. It refills through the chakra, coming down through the body, filling it, keeping the tension and the pressure, pushing out the black until it turns to a dark gray. Then it's going to turn to a light gray. And then it's going to turn into a dark tan. And I just want you to feel this process. And I know it's quick, but try to feel the process of the energy coming in, the sun and moon working on your behalf, the yin and yang natures of the universe saying this person needs and wants and desires to be healed. They desire to be renewed. They desire to change and transform their lives into that which they want. And we need to rid them of stuff that they've picked up in the acquired mode, the angers, the fears, the doubts, the worries, the disorder, the lack of joy, the grief, the guilt, the shame. All this is being purged from you as your body at this point will allow. Allow it to leave. Allow it to be pushed out. Allow it to go into the earth. Allow the earth to renew the energy. The energy is not bad. It's just that it got stuck because of traumas, because of anything that might have happened to you when you were a kid, or even your past lives. And as it begins to get lighter and lighter and lighter until it gets to the point where the energy is bright white, and it's bright white, and there's nothing left to purge. Now the organs begin to feel the high vibration of this light energy in your body, renewing and transforming and increasing in strength all your organs, your cells, your membranes, your tissues, your sinews, your spinal column, your bones, your marrow, your blood, white cells, red cells. Everything in your body begins to become renewed and in line and purposefully done through the divine energy that's entered you. And all I'm going to ask, everybody look at your screen now, is that when you're done, you're going to take your hands out to the side, bring them down over your body, over your head, and allow your body to be rooted and stabilized in its energy. And anytime you want to do this meditation, it's called the sun and moon. It's a great meditation for practice of purging and tonification, strengthening and releasing.
Thank you, Michael.
You're welcome.
All right. Thank you. I mean, that was... I actually had some feelings when you were dumping the dark stuff out of my arm, which is a very interesting place for it to come from. Because I've had some trouble in my arm, and I felt my arm kind of get heavy, and so that was interesting. That's
what happens with trauma, Marilyn. If, for example, I know a lady that I've worked on with cataracts, and I say, what's keeping you from looking forward in your life? It's not about the disease of the eye, as much as it is a disease of the soul. So what is keeping you from looking forward? What is keeping you from going forward in your life? I have another lady with exactly a bad arm. What is keeping this arm from moving? It all relates to everything that's going on in your life, and it becomes a systematic approach to healing. So I identify myself as a life coach as well.
I was just going to ask you that.
What I do.
Yeah, I was going to ask you that exact thing because I was listening to you saying that. I'm thinking, okay, so you have to do some coaching there because that's what a coach does.
Exactly. I don't want people leaving my office and going out and doing the exact same thinking, the exact same doing, the exact same believing as they did when they came in that caused the disease in the first place.
So let me ask you something. We've had this question out on the chat. So what is the average length of time that somebody would practice during is it you practice this every day? Is this something you it's like, you practice it a couple of times a week? What is it? What would you suggest?
The more you do it, the better it is for you.
Mm-hmm.
So what's the minimum, absolute minimum, in my opinion, is 2 times a week.
For how long each time?
anywhere between 45 minutes and an hour. When I teach this stuff, Marilyn, you look at meditation, for example. Meditation is a part and integral to the Qigong life. How often do you do that? Is it every morning? Is it every evening? Do you do the sun and moon like I just did, or do you go on for arthritis? Or there's tons of them that you can do, and it just depends on your development.
So Qigong, it appears to me, is a kind of a, I'm just saying the word catch-all, but it's not really a good fitting word, but it contains many different things like meditation, the movement, feeling the energy of somebody to know that their liver has an issue or their heart has an issue. I mean, it has lots of different elements to it from what I can tell.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
So tell me, what is the difference between medical Qigong and Qigong? Qigong. What is Debbie, what's the difference to you?
Well, he explained it at the beginning.
I know.
The medical Qigong is where, like Master Lee or whoever is the practitioner, actually you go for a one-on-one session so that you leave your body, you give permission for the practitioner or the master to move the energy, pull it out, and pull out the negative energy and replace it with positive energy so that you can heal. Whereas regular Qigong that I do, I also call it TCM, traditional Chinese medicine. I like to teach an individual the breath work, the postures, the movements, and just how that they can perform the Qigong on their own at home on a daily basis. I am not using that universal energy through me to them. I ask the person to find that universal energy from the heaven and earth, from the yin and yang, sun and moon, all that, themselves, so that they can do the practice anywhere, at any time, in any place. And that was one of the things, like, the great movie, what was that? Karate Kid. The Karate Kid is like the most famous thing that made a difference, that, wiping the window on and off, on and off. So, like, wherever you are, whether you're sweeping, doing dishes, shopping, standing in line, whatever you're doing, once you get that intention and bring it into your body, you can be in a posture, you can breathe, you can make it a way of life.
Sure.
Michael, go ahead.
I got a question for Debbie. Take a look at Marilyn. Marilyn, you take a nice deep breath in. What raised up, Debbie?
Her chest.
Her chest.
Instead of her belly, right?
Instead of her belly. So the first thing I teach in Qigong class is, if you really want to improve your lungs, you breathe into the lower lungs, because the lower lungs, ever since you've been 2 or 3, have gone, where's the air? I don't understand where it is. But the abdomen is tight, it's hard, it's holding the organs in place. So if you breathe into the lower lungs, you push down on the diaphragm pushes into the belly goes, there's not enough room for this diaphragm and all these organs, and it goes out, and the organs go, oh. And then they come back together and they massage each other and they go, oh. So the entire life of organs is relaxation and massage. Now I ask you, if you're looking at Qigong as a longevity practice, how long do I want to live my life? How long do I want to be on this earth, as opposed to how long do I want to be sick or healed? Then the idea of massaging and relaxing, energizing the organs becomes one of importance. How long do you want your car to last? Well, I'll drive it on the highway instead of in the middle of the road. And that kind of thing becomes keenly important, because anything works better in a relaxed state.
So do you feel like anything can be healed with Qigong? Or not healed, but even, healed, or, maybe symptoms, supported the symptoms, what?
Here's the word. Everything is healed. Not everything is cured.
Okay.
Because remember, we talk about, in medical Qigong work, we talk about staying connected to the vertical, which is the divine. Because the energy that we use is just partially ours and mostly the divine work. So the communication that we have is intuitive. It becomes this really powerful sentience of energy that works. But not everything is cured, because there is a time where all of us are meant to pass. So, for example, I worked on a gentleman in Colorado remotely with brain cancer, and I knew he was going to pass. So my last 2 treatments on him were not about the brain cancer. My last 2 treatments were about the Taiji pull and the issuance of the soul leaving the body, so that when the soul left, it went, oh, I'm out of here, dude. I got to get back. It was that, it's that relief and that interest that the soul, the what we call the yin soul that was within us and the yang soul that's in heaven still, are connected. And they will come back together because they've served their purpose and done their mission here. And they have to leave. They've had all the experiences they need to take them to the next level of their evolution. But, that being said, if I forget the question. Where were we?
Well, do you think everything can be healed?
Oh, everything is healed.
Right.
I mean, even if it's just a departure of the soul, but not everything is cured like we would like to see it. I can work on somebody and say, okay, we're going to work on your diabetes, but you got to do this to your diet, this, and this. You got to go walk. You got to go exercise. You have to do different meditations that we have for you. And if you don't do them, nothing's going to change. If you do them, then we can begin to act and correct as we see fit, right? Just like any Western doctor would do. I need you to go do this. I need you to go do that. And if you don't do it, and you come back, they just give you a different pill.
So, and that's all to get the chi. I mean, all
moving.
of these things is to get all the things that you're suggesting and talking about is to get that chi moving throughout your body.
Yeah, and the body, like Debby was saying, is immense. I mean, really, really impressive in terms of the meridians, the systems, the yin and yang vessels, and all that stuff. We have, Marilyn, we have protocols for everything.
So to be a practitioner as you are,
yep.
You have to know a lot. Is that right? Because one of the things, and then Debby said something. Well, wanted to say something else, but I want to make a point of saying you were talking about. I think it was your liver. What did you do today? Something for your liver?
Well, that's what we were going to work on, but yeah.
Right. Okay. So but it was to do what? To improve what part of you was you're working on your liver for what reason?
Anger.
Anger, and what else?
Well, if I want more love and benevolence and kindness.
So you would be working on your organs. Mm-hmm. Whether if you have a particular issue with your organ, you have a particular issue with your liver or your kidney or whatever, but also you may let me ask you this: does everybody have an issue with an organ, or is it okay and we just want to feel more love?
No, everybody has issues.
Everybody has issues.
I mean, if you dive into somebody's body and you see the cords and you see the connections between the organs, for example, psychology is all about internal organ stuff. For example, if the example that I usually use is that if you're a girl and your boyfriend comes to you and you think he's going to ask you to marry you and he breaks up with you, that's grief. That's this stuff that goes right to the lung. 2 days later, it turns into what? Oh my God, I can't believe you did that. I'm really pissed off. I'm a pretty good girlfriend, blah, blah, blah. So it cords down to your liver. And then the liver goes, well, maybe I wasn't maybe I should really think about how I date and all this stuff. And it moves to your spleen. And then finally, it'll move to your kidneys in terms of never wanting to date again. You're fearful of the situation. So the energetic psychology, and I have friends who are therapists. We have wonderful conversations about this. About how do you clear somebody if they think it's in their mind and it's really in their organs? How do you really begin to make this happen for them in such a way that it's positive and they don't spend, their mortgage their house to get treated? It's just.
Well, they have to believe, or they're not coming to you anyway. That's number one. And Debby had something else she was going to add.
It seems as if it's important to look at how the vital force, the vital energy, the chi, the prana, whatever you're calling it, manifests itself as into the material world, into the tissues, organs, and cells, the blood, everything, the lymph. And what we're looking at with Qigong is fluid motion, freely flowing like a river, like a stream, that when there are blocks and stagnations, things that prevent things from moving, that's when you get that hardening of energy, that the organs begin to malfunction and don't work properly. So that's why you want to continue that breathing deeply with the abdominal breath. And in the breath, we carry oxygen, we carry the oxygen to the blood, obviously, to vitalize it, which goes to all the cells and the capillaries, everything, and then also the water element. And I just had a show all about water, and the water that we transpire, like a plant, we breathe in water and we expire water. It carries messages into our being. So when you talk about healing and cure, which was a big question, especially like in homeopathy, we have to be realistic. How much pathology really is within the body? Can we provide palliation? Can we provide spiritual enlightenment to move to the next level so that we are believing in acceptance of and fulfilling our mission, whatever it is we were meant to do on the planet, even though we might be in pain, even though we might have a dysfunctioning organ, as long as the spiritual energy is flowing.
I so agree with what both of you are saying, because especially today, and maybe it's the universe knocking us on the head and saying, listen, people, the medical blah, 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 and all this medical reform and health reform and stuff, you have to make your own choices. We are not handing this to you, and this is not a free ticket to a doctor. You have to be educated. You have to make your own choices. And I think maybe this is a universal joke, knocking us on the head, so we have no choice but to look under a rock, or to look in another room, or to watch shows like this, to watch Debbie's show, to watch Julie's show on Wednesday, evenings, to watch these shows to say, okay, this is how I'm going to live my life. I'm going to take my medical care, my spiritual care under wraps, and I'm going to take care of myself. I'm going to look into this and see what it's going to do for me. And how am I going to heal myself? Because I cannot trust or rely on a system. I've got to create my own system that's going to work for me. And that leads me into a question that's on the chat. Can we be our own practitioner? Or do we need to go to a practitioner, Michael?
When it comes to Qigong, you need a teacher.
Mm-hmm. You need a teacher. You
do need a teacher. I mean, I had my teachers in Canada. I have my teacher in California. And I have colleagues that I work with all throughout the world right now. And you really do need to have somebody that you can hold on to and grab onto his teachings, his understandings, and learn from him, and to begin to apply this stuff to your life alone. Mm-hmm. The higher you get in the semblance of being, then the less you need them constantly. But it's good to have a teacher, somebody like Debbie's constantly mentioning her teachers, and that's a good thing to do. Mm-hmm. We call it in this world lineage.
Mm-hmm. And you are a teacher. Michael.
I am a teacher.
So you would be somebody that somebody would go to and refer to you as their teacher.
It depends on what it is. If it's on the 24 postures of therapeutic Qigong, I would be their teachers. If it's on medical Qigong, I am not qualified to do that yet. I have probably 3 more classes to take until I am.
Okay. But then you would be considered somebody's guru.
Well, guru is kind of an interesting word. I would be their shifu or sifu. That's what we typically call, or if you're like in the Karate Kid, I'd be their sensei.
Gotcha.
I love Karate Kid.
Gotcha.
And Debbie, that's actually my style. It was Goju-Ryu, wax on, wax off. It's all cool.
I love it.
Good stuff. It's fantastic stuff.
So how well known is Qigong?
And I can honestly say that when I drove down here with everything I owned in the back of my car, not very well. There's a lot of people that understand Taiji, and you're going to get the masters of all the Taiji world and the internal arts world. But Qigong as a everyday for health practice is not very well known.
No,
I think people are, people, including myself, have been, I'm sure, scared in the past to take anybody else's opinion other than a doctor. Mm-hmm. And even now, when I don't want to take a doctor's opinion, I'm going to a doctor only like for certain reasons, but then I really want to take what they say, and maybe they help identify something for me in some regard, but I really don't want to go that route. Doesn't seem to work anymore for me. It seems too one surface. There has to be more than that one level of care. For me.
There is.
I ask my friend Debby a lot of times, about homeopathic things because I'm not comfortable with the results and what the doctors are telling me. I feel like they're limited. So what are you saying, Michael?
I just think there's so many things that I could give to you that would actually literally change how you feel, change your life, and when I for example, I teach Taoism Sunday mornings, and I don't tell people they have to become Taoists. I take the teachings and the writings and I say, this is about internal transformation. In the Taoist world, that's called internal alchemy. It's internal change that becomes representative of who you are and who you were always meant to be. And to do that, there are practices and meditations and belief systems and understandings that you need to have about the Tao, how it works, how it behaves, and how you integrate with it.
Well, we'll have to have you come on again.
Absolutely.
Talk about the Tao, because we won't have enough time for that now. But what I do want to ask you is if something is like, and I don't know if this is possible, but if something is like in your genes, or like, your father had it, your mother, your paternal grandfather had it, it's passed down. Is that something that you would also be able to work on with Qigong?
Yes.
So, because it's all right, I would absolutely think so.
Yeah, because there had to be a reason that gene changed and allowed something to get in.
Right.
At that point in somebody's life, that was your predecessor, your grandfather, your great-grandfather, or great-great-great-grandfather. There was something that was weak that allowed that trauma to enter. And that can be reversed. It has to be identified and reversed. But oftentimes, what's amazing to me, I got to tell you this.
All right,
Marilyn.
we're going to have to sum up because I want to make sure people know how to find you because we're going to run out of time. So finish what you're saying and then let me find out how people can get a hold of you.
Don't be satisfied with who and what and where you are in life. Do not be satisfied with it. Express yourself and allow yourself to get into the true methodology of change and belief and make a difference so that you can be who you were meant to be in this world.
And we were all, okay, and just very quickly, were we meant to be well?
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're meant to be healthy, we're meant to be well.
Yes, but that doesn't mean we're not going to experience things that are meant to drive us to the next evolution.
Okay, great.
Just so you know.
So how will people find you?
I have 2 websites up. They're not very far up.
Give them a phone number, an email, something.
Phone number, 919-348-9911.
And remember, though, he can do this remotely. So if you're calling in from Timbuktu, Australia, it doesn't matter. You can work with him. Okay?
Anybody who calls in from this session, I'll give 50% off their first treatment.
Okay.
You can email me at Michael, Michael, at medicalqigong.net, and that's MEDICAL, Qigong, QIGONG.net. And I have another email address, Michael at QigongNC.com.
And Chris has been monitoring the chat, so my lovely, dear, sweet Chris. So she's taking notes, and she's going to be adding them to the show notes starting today, which we haven't done before. So on MarilynShannon.com, you'll find it, as well as on the Breaking Free Show page on Facebook. So she'll be adding some of this information as show notes on those two areas, so you can go back and review it. Okay, so I highly recommend, Michael. I'm going to myself, and I'm going to report back for sure. Debbie, my queen of the homeopaths. You, where would they find you?
HomeopathyWorldCommunity.com, both on Facebook and at Gmail, Homeopathy World Community. And I also want to give a plug for our marvelous sponsor to our shows, Linnea Hahn of Sunshine Science. If you look right below, it's not on this one, is it?
It rotates.
It rotates? Well, it is full spectrum lighting. And if you don't see it there, go to Homeopathy World Community.
No, you'll see it. It rotates.
Or else go to the Health In Show on this channel, and you will see it. And what she has to offer is full spectrum lighting, the lighting of that sun, that you were bring that light energy into your eyes to change your chemistry, your hormones, your enzymes, everything. So that's awesome. And anybody else who wants to be a sponsor.
Number one, Chris will make sure to add it to our show notes for the day. And if you are interested in being a sponsor on our network, because we have thousands and thousands and thousands of listeners and watchers.
How many thousands?
Thousands. And it will rotate between all of our shows, and we're really doing great stuff. So let us know. Yes.
I'm also on Facebook.
Okay, so tell them where.
Michael Hronas, Hronas. And I also have a page, Medical Qigong Care, Cary.
Perfect. And for me, you can find me at MarilynShannon.com. You can find me on Facebook, Marilyn Shannon. Please like my page. Go to the Breaking Free Show. I am also a coach, life and business coach, and I combine everything that's going on in your life to make it juicier and better. So with that, Michael, any final words? You have 30 seconds.
Thank you very much. I appreciate being here. It was very nice.
Thank you. It's been great. And we're going to have you back to talk about Taoism.
Thank you. Debbie, it was a pleasure to meet you also.
Oh, I'm very pleased to meet you, a neighbor.
A neighbor
and a Qigong friend.
Yeah.
Debbie, any final 10 seconds?
10 seconds. See me on Blog Talk Radio Thursday at 1 p.m. with Alan Phillips about vaccinations and your rights in the United States. Who wants to put all those toxins into your body?
Nobody does.
And I also am going to be doing a special with a woman, Ruthie Scoder Erie. I'm trying to get her name out because it's spelled very unusually. And she is going to Malawi, Africa, healing people with PC, Peter Chappell's energetic homeopathic remedies from malaria and HIV. And it's going to be an awesome talk tomorrow. Just look on Homeopathy World Community and find out about it.
Yeah, and if you want any other information about anything that we do, you have an idea for a show or anything, or you want to get in touch with Debbie, if you see above my name here, you'll see my name. Click on it. You can email me directly and ask me anything about connecting with anybody. It's my pleasure to do so. So with that, Amnon, thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's been a pleasure. Michael, I'll see you soon.
Sending waves of awareness.
Sending waves of love and chi.
Love.
And
well,
Debbie, yeah, go ahead, what?
Happiness and joy.
What'd you say, Michael?
I said I feel them.
Yeah, good, because I felt it too. I got all warm and fuzzy in my belly. I'm going to breathe from now on. Debbie, thank you. I love you. Everybody out there, thanks, and have a marvelous day. And let's move that chi. Bye.
Very nice.
Okay.
You are tuned to the Nissan Communications Network. Our weekly lineup of call-in programs includes Computers 2K Now with Amnon Nissan, Sundays, 9 a.m. till noon. Carrie's Psychic Cafe with Carrie Silkowski, Sundays, 8 till 9 p.m. Health In with Debbie Bruck, Mondays, 11 a.m. till noon. Breaking Free with Marilyn Shannon, Mondays, 1 till 2 p.m. Lessons of Vietnam with NCVVI members, the second and fourth Wednesday of each month from 7:30 till 8:30 p.m. Reawaken Your Brilliance with Julie Seibert, Wednesdays, 9 till 10 p.m. And if you tuned in too late, you can always watch each program in its entirety or download an MP3 audio file of it at www.nissancommunications.com. Sponsored by ThatVidBlasterGuy.com, CarolinaApparel.com, and DeltaForce.net.